Well, that wasn't a very scary match, was it? Yes, I'm wearing devil horns. We don't like to take things seriously over on this channel. I think you'll know that if you're a firm supporter of Gonzo, you know that we like a laugh. So, welcome to me and my devil horns. Happy Halloween. Do you know what? It wasn't a scary match. Was it our best match? No. Do I have things to say? Of course I do. It's me. I never shut up. So, we go in and we start with the first half. So, in the watch along with Tom and Charlie, 5 minutes in, I was saying, they haven't scored. We're doing good. And then 10 minutes in, 4 nows. Great goal. Wonderful goal. He got tons of space and took full advantage of it. And I think that should have been a running theme throughout the game, and unfortunately it wasn't. Some good defending from Cresswell in the first half. The only problem is, I thought our defence was really good, but unfortunately we gave the ball away a lot, and we weren't clinical with our chances at all, in my opinion. We just weren't, and it was disappointing because overall they controlled the game more. They, especially in the first half, they controlled the first half a lot more. They weren't taking their chances with their control. So they weren't taking advantage of their control. And that's good for us, but it meant that there was ways in, and we just didn't take that. So obviously it was 1-0, and I thought we were absolutely going to go into half time 1-0 up. And then I'm curious about this because I thought that their penalty, Masuaku and Salah, was extremely soft, and Masuaku made contact with Salah, so I know it is a penalty if you're going by the book, obviously, which they are, but he went down quicker than me being called for dinner. Like, honestly, it was a touch and he was just sack potatoes. And no VAR. It's disappointing that, you know, VAR wouldn't even look at that, because for me it was incredibly soft, and no ref would be like, yeah, instant penalty. I think it's a shame. I think VAR is so inconsistently used in football, and you know what, I'm gonna say, it is ruining football. I think it's taking the soul out of football. VAR, it's just so inconsistent. It's a problem. As I said, it's just so frustrating, and that saved them for what they weren't doing for themselves in the first half. They scored the penalty. Obviously, it's Liverpool. I wouldn't have doubted it, but it gave them a leg up. Unfortunately for us. So as I said, in the first half, our defence was good. We were lacking pace, but that wasn't a surprise because obviously Antonio was injured. So we had Hilaire on. I'll get to him. For me, the second half, I don't know. For me, this whole game was quite flat. It wasn't amazing to watch. Cresswell looked like he got a groin injury, but carried on. I don't know how that's going to affect him later on. I don't know if he should have pushed on, or really he should have come off. So that will be interesting to see, because it would be such a shame if he did come out injured, because he has been so good for us. It would just be disappointing. It looked incredibly painful when he did the split. So going forward, I wonder if we're going to lose Cresswell as well as Antonio, which would really be a shame. Yarmolenko came on for Hilaire. Right, I'll start on Hilaire, because Hilaire is he's dividing the fan base hugely, and on social media it's for all to see. You're either for Hilaire or you're extremely against him and you want him out the team. So the one thing I'll say about him is he isn't Antonio. He isn't the same player at all. There is no similarities between him and Antonio, and Hilaire's an extremely gifted player, but we cannot expect him to be Antonio. For him to work up top, the setup needs to be different, and we have to play to his strengths. We're still treating him like Antonio, and that he should just be Antonio, and when he's not, we're like, no, he's lazy, he's rubbish, get him out, he shouldn't be on the pitch. If Moyes could set up that Hilaire would work, and that would involve and he would never do this, but it would rather two up top. Haller needs someone to work off. I mean, even down the wing, he was so isolated today, and that's part of the problem. That's why he's so quiet. I know people say he doesn't run. Yeah, because he's not Antonio. That's why. So I know this is going to be a controversial one, because I know in my last video, a lot of people are against Haller. I'm not. I just don't think he's been used to the best of his abilities, and until he is, I still don't think we can wholly judge him. Whilst we keep comparing him to Antonio, which I understand why fans are doing it, because Antonio has been such a strong player for us, and him being out definitely affected the game today. But that setup works for Antonio, but it doesn't work for Haller. What works for one player won't work for another. It's basic football. So I can't go in harsh on Haller, because I just don't think, I think he's being misused. Obviously, I know I'm going to get stuff in the comments for that. That is just my opinion. Also come at me about it. I'm interested to hear everybody else's opinions. Liverpool's second goal. Now VAR did go in our favour with this one, but for me, that was a shocking foul on Fabianski. Like, genuinely, it was studs up, and had Fabianski not grabbed his foot, that was a foot to his head that was studs up. To be fair, it was a hugely dangerous tackle. I panicked because it looked like that was going to be a goal. Thankfully, VAR went in our favour. I mean, so it should for earlier. But we were owed that. But it was, you know, there was no red. Again, I'm curious to see what people in the comments think about that. Do you think that was a red? It definitely was a foul, so the goal didn't count. Unfortunately, they had a second easy goal, which was disappointing. Not long after that, they had too much pace. It was easy for them, and the game was pretty much done then, in my opinion. Lanzini and Benrahma got to see grass for 5 minutes. Again, I'm not going to Moyes bash, because I know I've done that to death, but bringing two players on, like Lanzini for a start, bringing Lanzini on for 5 minutes. All right, I mean, Benrahma, you could argue that at least he's got a start. It wasn't for long, but at least he's got a start. But Lanzini, what's the man going to do? He's not going to create magic in 5 minutes, and he didn't. Neither was Benrahma. Right? For Lanzini, I think it's unfair, even for Benrahma, but at least he got a start. So it's more the issue with Lanzini coming on that late that I have a main amount of problems with. Do I think we could have taken a point from this? 100%. Am I disappointed we couldn't fight and hold them off? Totally. But it's Liverpool, so I'm wholly aware again that I didn't think we would be in this position at the end of October. And I know I've said on like my Twitter, and I've said on the Patreon podcast as well, that it's not the end of the world that we didn't get anything from this game. Would have been nice. We had the chance to, and I just don't think we monopolised on those chances. But it's not the end of the world because of the position we're in and how we played in the previous games. It's a little bit frustrating, but I'm aware it's Liverpool, and I'm aware that it's not the end of the world. And I don't think we played terribly. I don't even think we played bad. I just think it was a case of us not jumping on the chances when we had them. I just do genuinely wish we'd come away with a point. But, you know, it is what it is. As I said, I don't think we play badly. It's better than I thought we would be. And I must say that I think it's important to acknowledge the position we are in and how good it is right now compared to what it would have been. I think the biggest test now going into November is teams that aren't the big ones that we had in October. So you know, Fulham, etc. I think that's going to be interesting to see how we turn up against those. So onwards and upwards. I'm a bit disappointed. It was a bit of a flat game, but we'll see how we do next weekend.